what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Now, I had another video planned out for this spot, however, Mogamu posted up a video this morning called The Best Quest in Warframe, and it really got the feels moving. I'll be honest, I checked some of the comments in the comment section, and I got a little triggered, and I was like, oh my god, I really need to speak my piece on this, because I don't really think that too many people agree with me when I say that I actually prefer the War Within to the Second Dream. Okay, now before you get your pitchforks and torches out in the comment section, let me say this. I genuinely believe that the Second Dream has the best, hands down best reveal out of all Warframe quests. There is no doubt about it. The moment where you crawled out of your pod and you touched your Warframe and all of the music was playing, it was a beautifully manufactured scene that just kind of like made you feel all the fucking feels. You felt really vulnerable, and then all of a sudden your Warframe kind of comes glitching to life and he becomes your sentinel again. Then all of a sudden you get back to your ship and like all of this weird shit happens, and then you gotta fight the stalker, and then, you know, fucking Lotus comes out with her tiggle bitties and her juicy booty and she puts you back in your cradle and shit like that. And then all of a sudden you get into the focus screen where you have to choose the focus schools, and then you gotta look at your face and you're like, what the fuck is even going on? There was the best, hands down best reveal in all of Warframe. Best quest reveal. Now as for the rest of the quest, honestly for me it just felt like, here's a history lesson. Lotus put this thing and this thing, and then this is where you were hiding this whole time. I didn't feel any emotional attachment to that whatsoever. It was just like, well, this is how Hun House are, and this is who this is. I'm like, so we're in history class now? Like, where's the part that I interact that makes me feel like I'm a part of this quest? You're telling me all of the shit that does not involve me, just kind of like the circumstance to why I ended up where I ended up, but I didn't feel connected in any way, shape, or form. And that for me is kind of like why the War Within really kind of like knocked it out of the park for me, because it really made me feel connected. Now don't get me wrong, the big twist endings are fucking fantastic, but we can't always like depend on big twist endings to make an entire quest. I mean, take a look at this. We got M. Night Shyamalan, you know, the first ones were really fantastic. We got Unbreakable, we got The Sixth Sense, those were amazing. But you keep doing that over and over and over again, and you keep expecting all of these twists and reveals, and you end up with The Happening. What the fuck happened in The Happening? Trees attacked us! That's what was happening, is the trees attacked us. Do you want that to be a quest in Warframe? No, I don't think so. So the War Within had to be something different. It couldn't be this continuous, let's throw them a twist, let's throw them a twist, let's throw them a twist. And to kind of compound with all of that, another thing that kind of like really hurt the War Within was the situation that it was released in. A lot of people were waiting for the War Within. They were pining away for a new quest. You know, they thought that Umbra might be involved. Everybody was like just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think that either the hype built up too much, and then they got it and they're like, well, there's no big reveal in this. There's nothing crazy, amazing, like cool in this. It was like, oh, we got a new system, I guess. So I can understand it from that viewpoint. Like, they were waiting and they got something that they didn't realize they were getting. On the other end of the spectrum, some people were just getting fucking salty. So the War Within was honestly released in a space where there were just a lot of things working against it. However, I still hold true to the fact that, oh my god, for me, the War Within just like was like earth-shaking. Okay, straight out of the gate. In no other fucking quest that we have in Warframe, we get a message that says, you cannot turn back beyond this point. Girl, where you going? This is, you click the button and you're committed. You can't turn the fuck around anymore. You are doing this quest. And that kind of like moment where you have to sit there and think to yourself, am I ready? Like, what's going up ahead? And we don't know. We had no clue what was happening next. We had to just dive in blind and kind of make the decision that we would have to like experience this thing without any, I guess you would say, without any kind of like safety net. And that's exactly what happens in the quest. We get stripped of our powers, we get stripped of our Warframe, we get stripped of the Lotus. We have nothing to guide us. It is ourselves. And to me, that was like more powerful than the Second Dream, where we're just basically getting taught a history lesson and then someone comes and saves your ass at the end. I'm like, okay, sure. But in this situation, there were other ways that you can fail without necessarily like dying. There were like failure states that were outside of that, and to me that was refreshing and new. That was different. The visuals were absolutely beautiful, but the thing that really kind of like pulled me into it was the fact that this quest actually involved me. It was telling me things that I didn't realize were in the past, or it elaborated more on the things that were happening to us. And not only did it elaborate on the things that happened to us as players, but it gave us the choice as to how we experienced it. This was the first time we really had morality choices. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Clearly, the morality choices really don't end up doing anything for us in the end. They do say that eventually in the future, it will have some sort of effect. But there are points where you sat there and you're like, do I want to commit to this? And there's this kind of feeling, like I was saying earlier, where you had to push the button and say, okay, am I ready for this? It's like when you say, do I commit to this? It's one of those things in Warframe that we always kind of feel like we can take things back. Oh, you choose the wrong focus school in the second dream? Okay, get yourself another lens and you can kind of, you know, rinse and repeat. You can go build some stuff back up. Oops, you misformed a weapon? Okay, well you can take that forma off with another forma. At this point, it was kind of like, we're making these morality choices, and even though they don't play a part in what's happening now, these morality choices in this quest, in our first playthrough, are permanent. So whatever it is that you chose in the quest is what's gonna end up sticking with you. And that's something that wasn't done in any of the previous quests. So now you are building your identity in the game. And the thing is, in everything previous to this, we were just kind of like going along for the ride. This time, we were literally stripped of everything and we go through a journey to reclaim everything. And that part like fucking moved me to all hell. We didn't have anybody there holding our hand. Even Teshin was like, fuck you, you gotta deal with this shit, you need to learn this shit. And we had to learn all of these different mechanics. And yeah, true, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the parts weren't as fun as others, but let me, at no point was there a better feeling than when you finally fucking got the mechanics down. You were like, fuck you, ma, fuck you, you ate me 20 times before because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in this stupid game. Just put me in some random ass place, didn't give me some good enough directions. And if you guys watching my playthrough, like some weird transference shit was happening, and like I couldn't get the mod to do what I couldn't transference into the mod because I was hitting the wrong buttons or I wasn't reading the thing on stream. It was so frustrating, but there was no better feeling than when you finally did it. You were like, oh my fuck, oh thank fucking God, hallelujah, it is done. But the thing about that is, that did something that the previous quests did not do. It involved you in the storyline. That's one thing that games can do better than, you know, watching any movie, watching any cinematics. It actually said, you're gonna be involved, and you're gonna feel the frustration, and you're gonna feel the anger, and you're gonna feel the victory. So throughout all of this, you know, you're regaining your powers, you're deciding the different parts that you played within the storyline. You're getting backstory as to what happened to you. Not what happened to like some crusty ass sentients in a fucking war ages ago, and what some traitorous, you know, Lotus woman decided to do to save her little baby children, you know? We weren't worried about what the fuck was going through her head. We were talking about what happened to us in our heads. We talked about the way that we were feeling during those situations, and we really had to take a look at ourselves as the players and say, oh, how would I feel in that situation? Who would I be, or who would my character be, right? And a part of me is so utterly moved by that because now we make a connection to our character, right? We make this connection and we're like, holy shit, this character is becoming more and more a part of me. And I know some people are not super fond of the whole kid thing, you know, get over it, that's what it is now, so move on. But legitimately, as we progress through the story, we're kind of feeling this frustration of having to relearn things and having to go through, basically be put through the ringer. Lose our Warframe, we don't have access to that and all of our cool weapons. Even our own fucking Cephalon kicks us off the goddamn ship. We get our ass kicked off of our own ship. So we don't have our ship, we don't have our Warframe, we don't have our weapons, Lotus is bye-bye. You know what I mean? We don't have Teshin there to help us, we got none of that. And you know what? That's the best feeling, is when you start from the bottom and you work your way to the top. And the thing about it is the moment that made it for me was when you went through all of your trials and tribulations. You went through that fucking damn chasm thing, whatever the fuck it is. You got through, you know, the snow, and you came out and you got back into your ship. and your ship was like kind of quiet. It was kind of wrecked, and it was this moment of like, well, fuck, what the fuck do I do now? And then you recollect all of your power. And the thing is, as players, I think that we fucking forget. The Warframes are not there to make us stronger. They are there to focus our abilities so we're not causing like cataclysms and shit. We're not fucking ripping the world apart. Like, the Warframes are this thing to help us channel our energies. Literally, our Warframes are there to tone down what we can fucking do, right? We are these crazy powerful beings, and we have these Warframes that kind of like act as lenses. And the thing is, we are so fucking powerful that they had to find catalysts for our Warframes, like the things inside of our Warframes, whatever the fuck they are, whether they're like other human beings or whether they're infested, I don't know what the fuck they are, or whether it's just a really powerful machine. They had to find shit for us to not fry, because the catalysts have to be strong enough for us not to kill them, whatever the fuck it is, right? So we are these super, super powerful beings, and we're stripped of all of that at the beginning, and then we're forced to remember how to use all of it ourselves. And we go through this journey. It's almost like a coming of age journey, saying, no parents, nobody holding our hands, no crutches, to really realize how strong we are. I mean, legitimately, that moment where we said, well, how the fuck are we gonna get our shit back? Because we brought our favorite Warframe on, onto the Kuva Fortress, right? And we're sitting there, we're like, how the fuck are... Oh, that's right. I'm a badass. I could do this shit myself. I don't need no stupid ass chair. I don't need no Lotus helping me. My Warframe is there. I'm gonna get my Warframe. And as you come back in, like, I guess the asteroid shakes and all of a sudden you emerge from your Warframe. And that fucking feeling at that moment where you said, nah, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. I'm getting my shit back. And that was the moment for me that said, sorry, Second Dream. Sorry, you can move along. Thank you for your reveal. That was fantastic. We are on to the next. And that really cemented it for me because it reminded me, our operators are these powerful, powerful beings. We have all of these abilities at our advantage. I mean, we have this focus, and let's be real, the focus system isn't perfect, but we literally emerge from our Warframes invincible, and we blast shit in the face. We petrify things, we like fucking disarm things, we do lots of like amazing things with our operators, right? That we had just channeled through this little Warframe to do whatever little cool abilities they could do. And so for me, that kind of reminded me of exactly how amazing that we are. And we went through this journey of being weak to realizing exactly our place in the system. And at the very, very end, we stand on that mountaintop, cliffside, mountain, I'm gonna call it cliff, mountaintop side, whatever it is. And then we have that final choice as to what to do with the Kuva. Now, clearly we know from this point on, it doesn't really affect all that much in the game. I mean, we still go collect Kuva to prevent the queens from, coming back together and shit. But legitimately, that moment was just you, Teshin, no Lotus. She's not there to hold your hand anymore. You make the decision. You make the fucking decision. And that, for me, just kind of clinched it. And I'm not going to say that The War Within is the best quest in the game, but I definitely liked it better than the Second Dream. I really enjoyed the Octavia's Anthem a lot because we had recurring personalities, and those personalities were absolutely fantastic. It's not something we really had in the Second Dream. I don't feel like I didn't walk away from the Second Dream liking or disliking anyone any better. I was just like, all right, Lotus came for us. Look at you, Lotus, with your boot. Look at that booty, Lotus. Right? Look at that suit. You looking right. That's pretty much all I felt for the characters after that, right? I didn't feel anything more for the fucking Stalker, who is just kind of like annoying and angsty. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on with my life. That's the voice that I have for Stalker. That's underneath the filter Stalker. But yeah, when I walked away from The War Within, true, didn't really feel any much more strongly about Teshin or the Lotus or any of that, but I felt so much more connected to my operator than I did in the Second Dream. Now, of course, Octavia's Anthem was fucking hilarious and amazing, and it made me go through a range of emotions as well. The Glass Gambit, even though the beating our brains in with the index was a little bit rough for me. I came out of there really liking Ergoglast. There's a lot of amazing quests, a lot of which I have not done, as you guys know, but maybe I'll do that in future episodes to come. Let me know how you feel, and I'm gonna say this, separate everything that happened before War Within. Don't look at all of the lead up to War Within, don't look at all of that, because if I get those sentences, they're like, it took too long for them to deliver. I was like, don't fucking think about, what about the actual item itself? Well, it wasn't worth the wait. Well, fucking forget the wait and just focus on the actual quest itself. Because if you do that, you'll realize how amazing it is. Now, I'm not going to say that it's going to change the second dream for you. You know, maybe the second dream was just such a solid thing, but I dare you to replay Second Dream, then replay the War Within a very short time span. Replay them very, very closely and tell me which one makes you feel more empowered. Which one makes you feel more like, ah, shit, I am a badass. Fuck, this Warframe, okay, cool. Warframe, we got armor and shit. We can't really, like, die in that. But, dude, I can blast people with lasers myself. Like, that is an amazing feeling. So, look at the War Within outside of the conditions it was released in. Let me know how you felt about it, because, as you can see, I felt very, very strongly about it. That pretty much does it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the rant. It was a bit more lengthy than I would have liked, but hey, you know, sometimes you just gotta let it out. You gotta let your feels out. So that about does it for me. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. Maybe we'll do more quest stuff and chatting about quest stuff too soon. Actually, I was talking with Mogamu a lot this morning, and I think I might put out a Syndicates video that might be very interesting. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Bye-bye!